Thank you for this morning. We thank you for the opportunity you've granted us to be here as Faculty of Business Administration and Management. We thank you for our good life, and as we are going to start this session, we put it into your hands. All colleagues who are soon joining, guide them through. We pray for the gadgets, the internet stability and power stability until the end of this session, and let it be fruitful in our teaching capacities and even research activities we do offer to ourselves and even the university at large. We thank you, Lord. We've prayed believing in your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. So you are all most welcome, and I would encourage us to continue sending messages reminding our colleagues who are not yet here. I would like to appreciate the people who kept time. Patrick, Eddie, thank you so much for joining on time, and Sarah, and also I'm seeing Grace, you are most welcome. So you are most welcome for this session. I've posted, Jotham, you are also welcome, you've joined in. I would request you to send messages to your colleagues in the Faculty of Business to join so that they don't miss. I've posted in the chat a link for registration, and that's the page which I'm sharing on the screen right now. Request you to register, and you indicate your main campus, the campus where you work from, either Kampala or Maine, your names, your position. If the position is different from what is listed here, you can select others and it will give you an option to feed in. And then your leadership position, if it's not among these, then you can select others. You'll be able to feed in your faculty, your department, and office, then you submit. So the form is as short as that. You can even fill it using your phone. So in reference to our training today, when we look at the program which is being shared, broadcasted on the staff mails, today we are having Faculty of Business Administration and Management. However, those who missed, if there's anyone who missed in engineering and would like to join, it is okay. You can encourage them to join. There's no problem. So we are going to have three modules. And the first one we are looking at on how to access the electronic resources or our online library. Then we shall look at in-text citation and referencing. And then lastly, we shall look at the plagiarism system. So that is what we are looking at in this first phase. And to start with module 1, when we talk about electronic resources or online library, those are the materials which we can be able to access wherever we are, so long as we are connected on internet, and then we have electronic gadgets. For the Faculty of Business Administration and Management, we came up with a quick reference guide for your faculty, reference tool for your faculty. And these are the databases, because when we go to the university e-resources page, we have a number of databases which cut across all the programs offered in this university. So to make your work easier, we had to categorize the databases. We have the ebooks, E stands for electronic. Then we also have the e-journals, the journal articles. So for the ebooks databases, we have OUP, that is the Oxford University Press, which has approximately 11,000 titles in 20 different subject areas. Then we also have EBSCOhost, which also serves with e-journal articles, however much we've put it under ebooks, but it also has journal articles. Then we have Taylor and Francis ebooks. Then for the journals, we have Emerald, We have Taylor and Francis still for journal articles. We have Edward Elgar and Open Edition journals. So you can be able to access these via these links so long as you're at the university, or you can be able to access them via our e-resources page. Which I've also shared in the chat. Then we also have off-campus access, how you can be able to access these resources when you're not in the university using your personal data. We have a platform called MyLoft. That is the proxy which we use, but it requires you to use the student or staff email and then also password. So if you don't have a staff email or student email, rather staff email as a staff, you'll have to get in touch with the Digits and they create for you one. Then you get back to us to assist you create an account, because you have to create your own account to be able to access these resources when you are not on the university network. So the people who can be in position to help you at Kampala, we have Sarah Nansukusa, we have Annette Grace Retire in the library. At main campus, we have Joanita Tuongire and then myself. So you can get in touch with us and then we can be in position to assist you. So we are going to navigate some of these, not all, because of our limited time. When you look at our schedule, the time is very limited. So we may not be in position to look at everything, but we are going to navigate some. So to start with is the page which I've shared in the chat. You can also log in. We have 20 databases here which cut across different disciplines offered in the university. So from our e-resources guide tool, we're going to start with ebooks. We have OUP, we have EBSCO, and Taylor and Francis. So the moment you come here, you click on EBSCO, you can click on Taylor and Francis. There's Taylor and Francis for journals, Taylor and Francis for ebooks, and then OUP is on the next page. The moment you open the next page, you'll be able to find Oxford University Press. So Oxford University Press, when we're navigating these databases, this is an ebook platform. You can access them by browsing. Browsing is going through an alphabetical list of subjects. So when you come to the subjects here, it has categorized them first like this. And for business, you go under social sciences, where you find business and management, and then to take you to a long list here organized alphabetically. If I'm looking at accounts, I'll click on accounts. If I'm looking at business and government, if I'm looking at entrepreneurship, or I'm looking at information and communication technology or knowledge management, management and management techniques, pensions and pension management, public and non-profit management, all that, those are all the subjects under Oxford Scholarship. So that is if you are browsing. For example, if I say to go to human resource, I can open it as a new tab here. And then at first OUP, we always want to find out whether you're a human being or not a robot, which is okay. And then they are telling you they have 1,342 results. And when you come here, you select all content I have access to. So you have access to everything as they indicated, and then you can just go one by one. But it also goes ahead to break down the different subjects. For example, if I'm looking at human resource development, because I went into the main subject of human resource management and it tells you so many things, Am I looking at books? Am I looking at chapters? Because this is an ebook platform, you not find there journal articles. So if you only need books, they are 80. If you need chapter, they are 923, and so on. If I'm looking at specific types, there are books on human resource, but in relation with the law. So you find that under employment and labor laws, there are 29 books. Under land society, there are 16 books, but all these are in line with human resource. That is, if you are browsing. However, when we come back here, if we don't browse, we can search. For example, if I search for entrepreneurship, it has given me 10,105 results. And what you are supposed to do first is to modify your search by clicking at all content you have access to, so that it eliminates. So you can notice that we don't have access to around 103 results, but the rest we have access to them. The books are there. They are 1,333. And chapters, images, font matters, and end matters. If we go by subject, am I looking at entrepreneurship in terms of social sciences? Am I looking at it in terms of arts and humanities? Am I looking at it in terms of law? Am I looking at it in terms of science and mathematics? So the database gives you an opportunity, it keeps on breaking it down. Am I looking at it in terms of medicine and health? That is all under entrepreneurship, which is my search. And then you can also dictate the dates and say that I need from this year to this year. But when you look at the list here from what they've displayed, because they display them according to relevancy, you can also decide to display newest first. That is the recent books which have been published. So the newest book was published on 19th February today, and it is open access. But now this is not a book, it's a book chapter. And then these are parts. You can see when we check for the latest, most of them are chapters which have come out. They are not books. So when you go into the column for books and you select, for example, books, let's first see whether they have, okay. So they have the latest book, but you can realize that most of these, they are latest, but they are more or less not nearer to our search strategy. So let's go back to relevancy instead of looking at newest, because we are looking at relevancy. So when we go to relevancy, these are books, and you can see all of them. So you can say, for example, I need books from 2023. You can even select a month, maybe from January up to 2026. I'm not so sure, I may not get a book for 2026, but let's try to, until February. Let's try to tease the database. And then after selecting that, you click on update. So it's going to update this list. Instead of having 1,330 results, they've given us 507 results. And these are the materials which are within that range. However, I think the database does not filtered well, because I'm seeing books of 2002. Yet I requested 2023 to 2026. So, but when you keep on filtering, it can give you exactly what you want. So I wanted to demonstrate this. So for example, if I need a book on innovations and entrepreneurship in public sector, this book was published in August, rather in June 2025. And then you can check the abstract of the book. And then after that, if you need to download it and you still need this page, you can open it in another tab. And then the book summary, you just keep on moving from one page to another. So when this book opens here for OUP, Oxford University Scholarship Press, the books here you download chapter by chapter. You cannot download a full book at once. However, it gives you permission is to share. You can share by email. You can seek and then, oh, sorry. Okay, permission is not necessary, but you can be able to share a book via email. For example, if I click on email, oh, it's not active. Okay, it's not active for this particular book, but also you can be able to download the chapter. For example, I can open it in a new tab. Open this. So this is a chapter on past wisdom, history of public innovation and entrepreneurship. Each chapter you'll find it with a special identifier number, that is the digital object identifier, the DOI. So this number is unique for this particular chapter, and they are telling you that the chapter runs from page 8 to page 26. And in case you want to read it online, you can read it online here. But if you'd like to download it, you click on PDF, and then you are able to download it as a PDF. Then you can also share it. I hope it will work. Don't know, it's not working. So the email is not working, but if you would like to share with a colleague, you can just copy this DOI. So if I share it in our chat, all of you will be able to access. So when I share that DOI, you'll be able to access the book as well. Or if I open it and open another URL page, and then I paste it, it will take me straight away to the exact book chapter. So then I'll be able to download a PDF. So that's how the DOI works. So the chapter is here. It is still online, but I can still go here and download it offline. And then I give it a file name as my interest may be. And then I'll be able to read it when it is offline. So that's how you can be able to access books under Oxford Scholarship. You can request for full text, you can request for only titles, you can request for only abstracts, depending on your interest, because the database gives you all those different options. Now to go back here, we can look at another database. Let's look at EBSCOhost. So EBSCOhost, the moment you go to EBSCOhost, it will require you to log in. For example, let me sign out. Log in again. Login is necessary, especially when you are going to download books, because for you to access their books, you have to log in. Now, you don't log in your email here under my EBSCO username or email address. You go to sign in with Google. Then when you go to sign in Google, you select one of your emails. If you're a first timer, it will require you to insert in your password. But if you used it several times, you will not be required to, as you've seen mine. And then at certain times, it will recognize you as Ndege University. And then sometimes it will recognize you as Consortium of Uganda University Libraries, because you access these resources via the consortium subscription as member institution. So when you see Consortium of Uganda University Libraries here, don't get worried, you are still accessing the right information. So the moment you come here, you type in your search. For example, I can decide to go under here and just pick any subject. I can pick international business, and then I'll search for it in here. So it's giving me 86,483 results. But these are mixed. They are books. There are some which are not books. So I'll go to filtering source type and select ebooks. There could be other books as well. So I'll select only the books and then click apply. So when I apply, you can see the books are 8,000. Before it was 86,000. Now the books are 8,896. By default, it will display 10. You can decide to display 50. And then also, it is grouping them according to relevancy. Relevancy of my search strategy. So when you come here, there is also dates. The books cannot be in month. It has to be within the dates. So if I select the past 5 years, it's going to filter and the numbers will drop of the results. So you can see within the last 5 years, they've published 521 titles under international business. So if I would like to download this first book, I'll click on access now. And then this book is categorized into different units. And sometimes the units within them, you have different chapters. So I can download a full book or I can download chapter by chapter. So I'll go to the download icon in the right-hand side corner of the page. And then the database will first echo me to say, do you need the chapters? No, I need a full book. And if I need a full book, there are two options under EBSCORS. Some books you can download a full PDF, and then some books we borrow. So the borrowing period runs up to 84 days. Now these ones, they don't exclude weekends and public holidays. So don't think that because there's a public holiday or a weekend, that will not be counted. Definitely the day will be counted. So if I select, for example, 20 days, I should have Adobe Dictate Editions. This is a software. If you don't have it, you click on Adobe Dictate Editions and then takes to a page where you can be able to download it as a setup on your computer. If you're using a MacBook, you can use Macintosh. If you're using a Windows, you can use download that version, or on your phone. Apple Store for those having Apples, and then Google Play Store for Android phones. So when we go back here, if you have it, then you click in this box, you click in the box, and then the download button will be active. So you download the book. So the moment you download it, then it will start downloading itself into the Adobe Dictate Editions book reader. Now, sometimes it might delay to download depending on the strength of your bandwidth. And usually when you're downloading them, you need to ensure that your internet is stable. If you have issues, then you can use the off-peak hours or weekend hours. So the book has been downloaded, it is here. And then you can click on the table of content where it will give you the different units. And then you can read a book from here for the next 20 days. There is an icon for fitting on the page. For example, I can say I need the actual size. If I need Unit 2, I'll click on Unit 2, and it will take me there, be able to read a book from there. Then I can go back to my library, and when you check my library, I have books which expired. So if I need to download them, I have to go still back to EBSCO and download them. Then I have a book which I downloaded this morning for only 1 day, and they're telling me I have only 21 hours remaining. And one which we've just downloaded, we selected 20 days, and they've already started counting, so we are in 19 days and 23 hours. So that's how you can be able to access books via EBSCO. Let's go back. Then you can be in position also to share. When you are here on the page, the moment you click on the icon for sharing, for books, you can generate a link, copy it, and then you share it with a colleague. So I can share. So I've shared the link of the book in the chat. So whoever wants to download it, it will pop you to log in your Gmail account, and then you'll be able to share. Then it can create for you the citation. By default, it comes with APA 7th edition. But if you need a different citation style, they have limited citation styles here, but you can pick any of the others, and then you can copy and then paste it in your reference list. If you need to read it online, you can still read it online, so long as your internet is stable, because you can see when it starts loading, it takes time. So that's how you can be able to access the books under EBSCO. Go back. For the articles, it's the same story. For example, if I needed articles, I'll untick here, apply, because EBSCO also has articles. For the articles, you don't need Adobe Dictate Editions. And then I can select the source type, academic journals, apply. So those ones are many. And then for them, I'll select the last 12 months. Still under my subject of international business. So you can see for the last 12 months, I have 3,270 articles. So I can, for example, there is here the role of international business in eliminating child labor. This one, I don't have access to it because it doesn't have the access now PDF. So I can click on filter and then select, let me go back. You click on all filter, it will give you another page on the right hand side, and select full text and apply, so that it eliminates all what is doesn't have full text for download. Okay, so now it's giving me all what I can be able to download. So whatever I'm not able to download has been eliminated. So for the articles, it will give you the options PDF or online full access. If I need a PDF, I'll click on PDF. And then it will download the PDF online, which I'll be able to download offline. Okay, so my article is here, so I can be able to download it as a PDF. So this one, you will have it forever and ever. It will not have deadlines because you've downloaded it as a PDF. They are not like that. It's not like the books. Okay, so that's how you can be able to navigate EBSCO. Then the other ebook database is the Taylor and Francis. So when you go to Taylor and Francis, you can search. Actually, all these databases have similar setup of the pages. So you can be able to do the basic search. You can be able to browse. Now here we can browse by subject. If I need materials on economics, finance, business and industry, I can also do that. So it will give me a list of different books under that area. So you can see it's giving me 27,000 results, but I can filter and select only content I have access to. So I have access to 1,641. But this is a big pool for you. So I would advise that instead of doing this, you may continue with it, but it will take you long to get what you want, because however much it gives you the subjects here, the book collection, the latest publications or the dates of publication and so on, but it's better to search by subject. For example, and search for business ethics. So if I search for business ethics, I have 14,444 results on business ethics, but I'll filter only have content I have access to. and I have access to 871 results. So at least the books here, they are 2020, 2022. So they are not too old. 6 years is not too backward, but still it gives you an option. You can choose from which year to which year. So I can also check the abstract, read the abstract of the book. You can also download chapters. It has 2,373 chapters. But if I'm interested in books, I'll go back to my books. Then in case I'm interested in downloading this book, I can open it in a new tab. In case I'm still interested in this long list to navigate. So the moment you come here, usually Taylor and Francis, you'll also be in position to download chapter by chapter, but they will show you that the whole book has a DOI, the general DOI. You can also share, you can copy the link, you can share by email, and then also you can go chapter by chapter. So if you want to download a chapter, you can click on download. And then the database will load the chapter. So the chapter is here, and then I'll be in position to download it as a PDF and have it offline. So basically that's how you can navigate Taylor and Francis. Now let's look at the journal articles. Remember on our list we have journal articles. Let's look at Emerald. Taylor and Francis also has articles, but that one the navigation is the same as for the ebooks. So let's look at Emerald database. So this is Emerald. For example, if I'm looking for content on accounting, I'll type in accounting, and then the database is giving me 436,607 results. That is too much. Here we only have access to journal articles, not the books. So I can select the journal articles, which are 291,000 results plus, and then I'll scroll down here. If I need research articles, that is, sometimes I may be interested in those. Maybe I'm working on a paper which is going to be a research article, and I need to see how they are being designed at that international level. Or I'm working on a review article, or a case report, or a conceptual paper, a literature paper, and other subtypes here as they are. Or however much I'm looking at accounting, I can go by subject. I may be looking at accounting, but specifically auditing. So the moment you select auditing, the numbers here will drop to only auditing. So there are different subjects here, which you are looking at it in terms of water engineering and the wastewater management, because there is accounting in all those disciplines. So they will break it down and give you the numbers of materials which are in there. Now, to go back here, you can view the abstract. So this is a research article. The moment the abstract has the purpose, methodology, findings, practical implementations, and originality. You can view the article that is online. Each article will have its specific DOI, which you can also be able to share with the colleagues. You can be able to download it as a PDF. So there are two icons here which you need to take note of. This icon here under this first article is for open access. So it means that any item which has this icon, you can be able to download it in even the other ebook databases. Then if you see a tick, or if you see a padlock in green unlocked, in green, it means you can be able to download that material. We have access to it. Where you see a red padlock, then it means we don't have access. So our article is here. It is still online, but you can be able to download it and save it wherever you want to save it. So that's how you can be able to access our online resources. Unless if there is a question, but we are going to have a break for 5 minutes, then we shall switch to another module. Thank you. Any question so far? Okay, no question. Let's have a break of 5 minutes, then we switch to another module. Let's continue. I think we've had enough break, a 5 minutes break. So for those who have just joined, I've shared in the chat the registration form, the attendance form. Please register those who have not yet registered. So we are going to now look at, according to our module, we are supposed to now to look at we are supposed now to go into the in-text citation and referencing, and we are going to look at basically Mendeley, how it can help us to do the in-text citation and even develop our bibliographic lists. Okay. So we are saying that Mendeley, changing the way we do research. So introduction to Mendeley. What is Mendeley? Mendeley is a reference manager used to generate citations and bibliographies in Microsoft Word. So it basically works with Microsoft Word. Don't trigger it with the PowerPoint. Don't trigger it with Excel. It only works with Microsoft Word. It is an academic social network that helps the researchers to organize their research, share and discover papers, and collaborate with others. So approximately worldwide, currently it has approximately 600 million researchers who are utilizing it, who have accounts with it. So Mendeley is designed basically to achieve 3 goals. 1, to organize your references. 2, collaboration. 3, discovering new research. Those are basically the 3 goals of Mendeley, but it was developed by students, and then later the Elsevier publishers took it on. It is also used for annotating your PDF files and organizing your reference library. So what are the versions? Mendeley keeps on changing versions because it's a free software which is available on different platforms. So you can be able to use it on your desktop. You can be able to use it on your Android. You can be able to use it on iOS and other groups. How can we actually use Mendeley? So how the product works, what it looks like, and how you might be in position to use it. First of all, what you need to do, you need to create an account. When you visit the mendeley.com, that is what you type in your web browser, in your address, and then you'll be able to create a free account at no cost. So in the process of creating an account, it will pop you to put in your first name, that is your religious name, your last name, that is your tribal clan name, your email and password. This time round, you can use your personal email. You are not restricted to use the institutional emails for Ndeje. So we are saying that this is completely free to do and only takes few minutes or to few seconds. And then you'll have to have an account which will pop you to download a software which can be used on your computer or desktop. So we have what we call the Mendeley desktop. The Mendeley desktop is the one which we use on the laptops or computers. It offers a complete Mendeley experience, and it allows you to build, maintain, and order your personal library. In other words, you create your own personal online library in your account. So you can be able to read, you can be able to write, and use different functions as you are going to practice it. So the moment you first open the Mendeley desktop, you need to log into your Mendeley account. So this ensures that any changes you make are being made to your own account and will be carried across when you log in into a different device. So you should use your personal account, not any other person's account. So the account you create online is the same account used on mainly desktop. So how can this help you to organize your references? I had to take some few snapshots here, but which I'll demonstrate in the practical we are going to have in a few minutes. So you can add your files, you can add folders. We don't usually use watch folders, but it also works. Then you can also enter materials manually. Those are the print materials. You can synchronize. Synchronize works that mainly has the online account which you've created, and then the offline, that is the desktop account. Then it can also import from other referencing tools like Zotero, like Research Information Systems, like EndNote. And for EndNote, it will only import from free version of EndNote, not the one which is licensed. Okay. Then we have what we call the Mendeley Web Importer. You can import materials from the databases we've just looked at and import them into your Mendeley online account. And when you synchronize, you'll still be able to access them via your Mendeley desktop. So we shall look at that also. Then you can be able to highlight and annotate documents. It usually works with the PDF, so don't upload there any material which is not on a PDF format. We shall look at how it can highlight and then annotate documents. Then you can be able to use different colors, which they are calling a rainbow of annotations. So highlight your text as much as you want with different colors. So how many colors? There are 8 different colors which you can be able to use to annotate within your PDF and even put sticky notes within your PDF files. Okay. Then there is what we call Mendeley citation plugin. So we can be able to do the plugins. We are going to do that practically. Or you can do the plugin from Mendeley to Microsoft Word. Then you can be able to merge the citations. You can be able to generate in-text citations. You can be able to insert your bibliography and even find different citation styles. Thank you. So now there are some questions which are activity questions. Whether you've ever heard about referencing managers before. If you've not heard about them, Mendeley is one of them. And then how often do you use the software? How do you see it necessary to be recommended for referencing with the colleagues? And how would you describe your experience in referencing before? Some colleagues are still sticking on manual referencing and manual citation, but now we have these tools which we can be able to use, and then they can make our work easier, but also accurate. So those are the few slides. Now we are going to go online and first of all, create an account. So when you go to your browser, you type in mendeley.com. It will give you a page of this nature, and then you'll go to sign in. When you go to sign in, you type in your email. Use the different email. Then you continue. Now for the first timers, it will know that you're a first timer. It will not take you to the password first. It will take you to another page to insert in your names and then later your password. But now my account is well known in the system, so that's why it took me straight away to password. So I'll just put in my password. And then I'll sign in. So when after signing in, you click on my library. Mine has so many items because I've populated them from previous trainings, but yours will be empty. It will have no item, but these items, you can still delete them. You can decide to delete them. So if I delete, and I can move to the trash. So those ones have moved out. Then I'll not be able to upload them back. I'll have to go and download them afresh. So that is when you have an account. So after creating an account, we are going now to first install a web importer. So when you go to your browser, first, I'll say install Mendeley web importer. And then it will pop in your browser. Find out which browser you are using. I'm using Chrome. If you're using Firefox, if you're using Edge, you select that. So I'll select Chrome. And then I'll click on Mendeley Web Importer, Chrome Web Store. And after that, I'll click on the button which says Add to Chrome, which will bring another small page. Add extension, I'll add. And then Mendeley Web Importer has been added there. Then we have the extension icon on the far right hand corner of the page. You click on it and then click on this pin to pin the web importer there permanently. So my web importer is there. Sorry, colleagues, give me 2 minutes, then we can resume. I'm sorry, members, we can resume. So after having the web importer already on our computers, so now we are going to go to one of our databases. Remember, our Mendeley account is open. We created a Mendeley account, it's open. We are done with the installing an extension. So now we are going to go to one of the databases. Let's go to the journal databases. It will be easier for the journal. Let's use Emerald. So just refresh the page because we already have results there. And then shall go to our Mendeley account and then click on extension. Click on extension. So if you didn't sign in your Mendeley online account, it will not do this. It will first pop you to sign in your Mendeley account. So now it is searching for PDFs. Remember, this page has PDF files. We have access to most of them. They are in 291,000 results, but it has been able to pick 20 references. But I'm also interested in those ones which have PDFs only. So I'll check for those ones which have PDFs. Still loading. It also has a web page. Why PDFs? Because in future, I will be interested in reading them. I don't need only the reference. So usually the web importer works better when your internet is stable. If you have internet which is not stable, you'll struggle and you may not be successful at the end. So you need your internet to be very stable to use the web importer. However, there is an option of downloading your materials and then upload them on your Mendeley desktop account, which we are going to demonstrate as well. So I think we are done with the selection. Now we shall choose the library. Now when we go to our Mendeley account, we should be having a folder there. So when you look at what is in here, there are different folders, but I may not be interested to store this work there. So I'll go to my Mendeley account here and create a collection. Online it's called a collection, but when you're on desktop, it's a folder. So I'll say business administration and management. So I've created a folder there. And then when I go back to my Mendeley extension here, I'll just refresh. Click on refresh. However, when I click on refresh, it will untick what I'd selected earlier. First select the collection where I want my materials to be inserted. And then I'll select the PDF files which I would like to add in this particular folder or collection. So before adding them, this is what I wanted to show you. When we go to the business collection, currently it has one item which we uploaded, but the rest are not yet there. So when we come here, we click add. So all those we've selected are going to be added. And then when we go back to our online page, we shall find them there. So you can see our materials which have been uploaded, though there are some too where the PDFs are not yet downloaded in, but the rest, they've been downloaded using the web importer. So they are now in our online account. So that's how you can be able to create your materials, export them from the database. So you can see the two, they are still here. It's indicating those two. It failed to upload the two PDFs, but the rest of the items, we are able to download them. So now we have, I talked about the Mendy desktop in the presentation. So when you go to your browser, we have the installer. And currently we are at 1.19.8. So I'll share this in the chat for those who would like to do the installation. So you can be able to install the Mendeley on your desktop or your laptop. And then if you're using Windows, you select Windows, MacBook, Ubuntu. Ubuntu, there is the one with 32-bit, 64-bit, Linux, 32-bit and 64-bit. So if you don't understand this and you're using a Linux application, find out from your colleague or visit the Digits staff. They can assist you and find them in the labs or in their offices. And then you do the installation. So for Windows, you click on Windows and then you download and do the installation. So after now populating our results here, our materials here, now this is our online library. We have now a library for business administration and management. So you can even rename and say, you can call it staff training. Okay. So now after this, we are going to switch to Mendeley desktop. After downloading and installing the Mendeley desktop, remember the credentials we used to create this online account. They are the same credentials we are supposed to use when we are offline. Okay, I'll stop sharing. This is what happens when you go to your Mendeley desktop. You log in your credentials, which you used online, on the online account, without putting in any spaces. and then your password. If you are using your personal computer, you can click stay signed in, so that wherever you come, the moment you click on the app, it just opens. So the moment we are at this page, we have the main menu which has files, edit, view, tools, and help. Remember, when we go to tools, we've installed the web importer. Then we need to do the installation of the Word plugin. So now let me open. If you open a word processed file, it doesn't have the Mendeley plugin. So this is our page. And when you go to references, you'll appreciate that we don't have anything on Mendeley here because we've not done the plugins. So we shall close it because we can't do the plugins when Office Word is open. So when we go to our Mendeley account, let me sign out, and then we start the process afresh. They'll give you a second page indicating citation plugin for Microsoft Word not installed. You click on install now, and then you close, and they're telling you that you can add and create or import from other referencing tools, or you can import from web plugins. We've looked at them. That is the Chrome, Firefox, Edge, and Explorer. You click on next. There's what we call the local storage and the cloud storage. The cloud storage, that's where we are able to populate materials using the web importer. The local storage is where we are now. And then you close. So when we come to this page of Mendeley, we can be able to add files, you can be able to add folders, you can be able to add the entry manually. Manually usually works for the print materials. You can be able to synchronize what has been created from the desktop with what is online, or you can synchronize either way. You can do the editing, you can view, but under view, that's where we have the citation styles. There are a number of them, and if you need more, if you are online, you'll be able to get more citation styles as your need arises. You just search for it and it will be added here. So we are using the 7th edition of APA, but if you need a different citation style, you select it from here. Then The web importer we've looked at, we've installed Word plugin and then the help. So now, remember we created a folder online, and that folder was Business Administration and Management Staff Training. It is here. The moment I click on it, you can see our results. The materials which we've been able to upload, they are all here. Even the ones which have failed to open with the PDFs, there are two. They are also here. The bibliographic information has been uploaded. And these are materials for 2026, 2025. So the moment I click on one once, it will give me another window here where we have the bibliographic information of the article. The Journal of Accounting Research 2026, they're not indicating the volume, they're not indicating the issue, but they're indicating the pages. So if I would like to edit, I can edit here the bibliography because this is what is going to be reflected in my in-text citation and even in the reference. I'll double click, that's why I need a PDF. I'll double click and then it will open the article online in the PDF version here. And I'll try to find out whether it had the volume, which meant it was unable to pick. And then when I look at this article, come on, able to figure that out. Let me see. The journal is okay. The year is okay. Not seeing the volume and the issue number. I'll check through and find out. They didn't indicate it. They didn't. I'll ignore it. Okay, then I can be able to highlight. We talked about highlighting in the presentation. You can change the different colors. These are the colors, the rainbow colors I was talking about for highlighting. So when I select highlight text, for example, I want to highlight the purpose of the study, I can highlight it. And then I'll synchronize. For saving here, you synchronize. So when you are doing this, you should be online. You need to be online because synchronizing works hand in hand with the internet. Then if I have another paragraph within the work, I can do the same. Come here, highlight. And then after that, I can put a note. Example, I can say suitable for problem statement. And then to just save automatically. It's there. If I want to delete it, I'll just click on this icon for the recycle bin and delete this note. But the note will stay there. Then I'll synchronize. I'll continue reading the article and so on and so forth. You can zoom. If you think your site can't read small letters, you can zoom. You can decide to fit it on the full screen like that, or you can bring it back. So that's how you can play around with the PDFs. That's why it's important. It was important for me to download items when they have PDFs. Now there's this one here which the author is not indicated. I want to find out why is it that doesn't have an author. It is one-paged. So this one may not be helpful for me, so I can delete it. I click on it and then I'll delete. So I've removed it from the list because it doesn't have what I'm interested in. Then how do you upload files? You click on add files and then click on add. So you can add files manually. Now these ones, because we selected business administration and management folder, they are going to be added there. So I'll click on one item, upload it. So it has been uploaded here. So when I'm here, I can create another folder. For example, I can say business admin department. So when I create a department here, then I can go to my files and add files here. And then to take me, and then I'll select the articles which I would like to add in there and click add. So they've been added in here, but if I need them to be refreshed, Members, I am sorry. Internet got interrupted here at the graduate school, so I had to switch to my personal. So I'm back where we stopped. Let's see. Where we stopped, we are going to start populating our citations because we ended when we've created our library and we have different folders here. But what I didn't tell you that within a folder, you can create a new folder. For example, under the folder of business admin, I can create a new folder within and call it accounting. Within accounting, I can create another folder called the audit. And the folder which is in the middle panel, because we have three panels, the left, the middle, and the right. So the folder which is active in the middle panel, when you go to add files, when you go to add folders, when you click on add folders, you can add a full folder of your materials which you've downloaded. So you should have saved them in a folder on your computer or anywhere else. Then you upload a full folder. When you go to add entry manually, it will bring a template which has different templates. If it's a book, it will give you a template for a book. If it's a journal article, if it's a book section, the book section is the same as a book chapter. If it's a conference proceeding, and then if it is a newspaper article, still it will give you the setup. So now here, if it's a book, because I have books here, I'm going to upload one book. I'll type in the title of the book. And the book I'm holding, the title is Money and Capital Markets. The author is Peter S. Rose. The year of publication, I'll check in the book. Usually you check on the title page. May ask what's the title page. So I'm going to put on my camera. So this is the title page of the book. That's where you pick the title from. Then the year of publication. On the title page, you pick the title and the author and sometimes even the publisher. Then on the Verso title page, that is the second page behind the title page, that's where you are going to pick the year of publication. We pick the current copyright year. For example, if the book, for example, this one I'm holding was published in from 1983 and the latest copyright is 2003. So I'll pick the latest year. And then it also has the ISBN. You add the ISBN there. If it has a DOI, still you'll find it on the Verso title page. That is the page behind the title page. This is a title page, and this is a Verso title page. Please don't pick the title from the cover, because sometimes the cover gives you just a summary. So 2003. And then the pages. Usually the book starts from page 1. There's no any book which starts from any other page unless when the books are in series or in volumes. So this book runs from page 1 to page 789. You don't exclude the indexes and the glossary. They are part of the book. So that's why this one runs up to there, but it has all that. Then the abstract may not be important. The city of publication, as I said earlier, on the title page or the verso title page, that's where you're going to find the details. Now, this book is published in more than 10 cities. We pick the first one. The edition, it's 8th edition. And then the editors, doesn't have editors, you don't generate them. Then the publisher is McGraw-Hill, Erin. Then if it has a URL address, you put it there. If it doesn't, you leave it. The DOI, if it's there, put it there. If it's not there, don't generate it. Then ISBN. On the verso title page, that's where we have the ISBN for this book. And this being an old book, its ISBN has only 10 digits. But currently we have 13 digits, which were confirmed by the International Standards Organization. So now after this, after putting in all this info, peruse through and then you save. So the moment I click on this book, you'll notice that its details are also in the right-hand panel. If I need to do any editing, I can do it from here in the right-hand panel. So that's how you enter the manual entry of printed materials. So Mendeley is not limited to only electronic, but you can also enter the manual. So now we are going to go to our Word document and we are going to populate. So I assume that is one of my paragraphs. Then another one. Then another one. And this one. So you put your cursor where you want your citation to be. You go to references on the main menu of Word. And then you can see now we have the Mendeley icons here. You click on Cite. If you are not so sure of the material, you just click Go to Mendeley. So it will take you to your account and then you select the folder where you think the items are. For example, under Business Administration, the item I'm interested is here. You click on it and then you click on the icon below the word Cite, where my cursor is, and then to generate the citation there. There are scenarios when I've not read all the items, but I've read certain pages. So I have Monjiko and Atwairi. So I'll go to my Word document here, go to citation, and search for Monjiko. Monjiko. And then there is Atwairi, Rosemary. But under Munjiko, I read particular pages. So you click within Munjiko and to display another page to indicate the pages. So I read from page 90 to 92. Then at Haire, I read from page 80 to 84. And then I'll click OK. So it has cited both citations, but including even the page numbers. Then I'll go to, then I can decide to generate my reference list straight away. References. You put the cursor where you want your references to start from, and then you come back here to references and click on Insert Bibliography. Now, the moment you click on Insert Bibliography, that one is clicked on once for that particular file. When you keep on adding more citations, it will generate them automatically. So this is what it has done, and it's doing it in APA because that is the format we selected before we even uploaded the materials. So if I have another citation for another paragraph, I'll do the same. And then go under maybe business administration where I have the other too many articles. I'll select some video on this particular paragraph, then click on Cite, and it has generated the in-text citation, but also the reference list has grown. So basically, that's how you can be in position to use the Mendeley desktop. So that's how we can do the in-text citation and even the referencing. So if there is no any question, we are going to have a break of 5 minutes, and then we shall switch to the last module, which will take approximately 20 minutes, and we shall call this training to an end. Thank you. And nga bwe yatubuzaabuza motto nogamba yegwako atwaye. Members, let us resume to the last segment of the training. And now we are going to look at plagiarism, and we are basically going to navigate the drill bit system, which the university subscribes to. So when you go to your browser, you just type there drill bit. Drillbitplagiarism.com. It takes you to a page of this nature. You click on Get Started and select Institutional Login. If you don't have an account, you'll not be able to log in. You have to first find out from us to let us know so that we create you an account. So I'll first go to admin account. So the admin account gives us the statistics of how the database, rather the system has been used, but it has been underutilized. We only have 26 instructors out of 300. We only have 4 students out of 400. So those that we paid for 700 accounts, and they've not been used even halfway. So when we go down here, it gives us the statistics. How many projects have been checked, how many dissertations, how many articles, assignments, thesis, and research papers, and the statistics are in here. And this can be generated into an Excel and then downloaded. Rather, an Excel, and then they can be downloaded. The same applies with the departments which have been active. We can still be able to download the list. And then when you come to the users, rather the lecturers, those are ones, they are only 26, and then for students. But this was paid for a full year, and our license is expiring on 25th of next month. So this is where we come, and then we can create you an account. So we have a number of instructors here. So those are run squad accounts in Drillbit, but most of the accounts were created and some people are not utilizing them. Okay, some have not submitted anything. You can see there's one lecturer called Rima Alex, an assistant lecturer in computing. He has utilized it. He has submitted 156 results. Then we have myself, and then we have quality assurance. Then we have this other lecturer from IT. So when we move to page 2, you'll find there the ones who are there still, they've not utilized the system. So that's how bad off it is. Okay. But why am I showing this? It's for you to appreciate. It's for you to appreciate that the university has paid for such a service, but it has been underutilized. So now we are going to go to the instructor interface, because that was an admin interface. So I'll log out and log in my account. So this is the page, but as a fresh instructor, your page will be empty to not have these classes. However, it will have an icon for create a class. So we can create a class and call it business. We can call it introduction to business management. The description, this can be year ones. Okay. Expiry. Usually what they call a class is your course unit. So expiry this semester is ending in around May, early May. So classes might end on 30th April. Then I'll create. So what I've created is a class. Now I need to add in my students here. If I have students in the class, I go back to the plus sign in the bottom right corner. Add the students one by one. Now these ones should have the institutional email. Okay. Student ID number, department, section, phone number is not so important. Then I'll add. That is if I have few students. If there are many, you can add multiple students. You'll have to browse, and then they'll give you the mandatory fields which are supposed to be filled in. Or you can download a template here. There's a template. So which gives you what you're supposed to feed in. And then you feed in your students, save it, and then you'll be in position to upload it here. Browse your file and then pick it and upload it. That is the work of the instructor, you as a lecturer. Then after adding your students, then you can add an assignment. For example, it can be group assignment. When should they start submitting? Maybe today. And then the deadline, I'm giving them a full month. So the deadline is still 19th next month. And then we have assignment settings. So there are different settings here. Allow assignment grading. If you want to grade, then you should put the maximum mark. Maybe the assignment is out of 40. So the system will grade for you the students. Then the moment you say, when it says exclude references or bibliographies and you say yes, it means when it is creating the similarity report for plagiarism, the references will not be included. But I want to see the references included. Quotations, yes, I want them in. Small sources, I want them in. Save to repository. The moment you click on save to the repository, and then you have to select either institutional or you have to select global. But this will affect your students, especially if you're a lecturer who keeps on giving the same assignment to the students. So because the students, you know very well, they will copy from the previous group. So then you don't need to say yes, you leave it at no. Allow resubmission. Now, allowing resubmission, remember you've already set your deadlines. So if you say yes, then you indicate how many times you need these students to resubmit. You add extra days. So if I add 2 days, it means from 19th of March, students will submit up to 21st of March because it's me who has allowed them, or up to 22nd. Okay? If I don't need to, I leave it at no. Choice of email notification. If you say yes, it means every student who submits, you will get a notification in your inbox, in your email. I don't know how it will give you too much work to delete those notifications. You leave it at no. Add questions. You can add questions here for students and they are mandatory for them to answer. Exclude phrases. If they've done some phrases, if you say yes, then you'll have to enter the type of the phrase which you want to be excluded. Now, for example, the cover page may look the same for all students. To have the logo for the university, to have their names, their year, the program, the course unit, the assignment, and so on. Those are the same. So the moment you put them here to be excluded, it means the simulator report will not indicate them as plagiarized work, because every student, whoever submits, it will indicate it that it's already in the system. It's already in the repository. View of similarity and report. If you say yes, it means the students will be able to view their report and similarity immediately. Daily submission limits. Do you want them to submit maybe more than 2 times or more than 3 times per day? It's up to you. Because whenever they submit, ideally you should give them an opportunity to resubmit if they check the plagiarism when the percentages are too high. Then compare against. So the database will compare their submission from the papers which it has at global level, the journals and the publishers, because the student might have picked the work from one of the journal articles we looked at in the beginning and just pasted it there, from a web browser, from one institution repository. If you say no, then there is no need for this assignment to be checked, because the reason why we are checking is to compare the work from what is already submitted elsewhere. So if you are done with the settings, you submit. So now you have a group assignment. So every student will only be able to view the group assignment and will only be able to view his or her work. And they will just go to submission, and then they will click on the plus sign in the bottom corner, select whether the work is in English or non-English, and then they will be in position to browse and upload the work. For example, if I pick this, then I'll select the type of the document. If it's an assignment, I'll select assignment. If it's a research paper, chapter in books, blog, and so on, but this one is an assignment. And then I'll submit for grading. So we are going to get 3 different reports: the grammar report, the grammar quality report, the AI score report, and the simulator report. Now, Virubit is not a judge, is not a disciplinary system. So it's you, the lecturer or the instructor, to guide the student that your percentages are too high. Ideally, at international level, the simulator report for undergraduate students be above 30 for any submission. And for masters, it is 20%, and for PhD, it is 10%. So the AI currently, it has no specific percentage. The ball is in the hands of the supervisor or the lecturer. And then the grammar quality, this one has no percentage. But ideally, if the work has 90 or 80 or 70 percentages in grammar, it means the student has poor writing skills and needs an editor to edit his or her work, especially if it's the final thesis or final dissertation. So let's wait for it to run this, and then we get the percentages. So we shall be in position to download them. And if you had selected grading, because I had selected already, so it will also indicate the grading. However, as a student submit, for me as an instructor, I can still be able to edit. The instruction is here. So I can remove the mark. I don't need it. And then I'll submit. So I can be in position to edit daily submission limits. I may give them an opportunity to submit 3 times in a day as they keep on checking their work. So basically, as an instructor, I'm able to do a number of edits here, even when students are submitting their work. So it is still loading. It could be the network. Because what I've submitted is one-page file. Shouldn't take long. It's taking long, but I can share what is on other. Sorry, I can share what is on. I can share what is already in other accounts which I've done so far. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let me use this because the other one is taking long. So this is what I meant, that you can be able to view the Grammarly. So now this one is 92. The AI score is 57. The similarity report is 17. If this was an undergraduate and master student, would have passed well under the similarity, that would be okay. But if it's a PhD, we would advise him or her to go back and make changes here to ensure that it's below 10 or exactly 10. AI, as I said, we don't have a current standard. It's between the lecturer or the supervisor and the student. And then the grammar, now this one, if the grammar says it's 92, it means this student needs an editor, an English editor. So the moment you click on the similarity report, it will open it in a new window to upload the file so that we're able to view the file. So the file is here, then we can be able to download it as a PDF. Then instead of going back still from this page here, we can download the AI score. So it will highlight the text which was done by AI. I'll download the report as well. Then shall go back and download the grammar as well. The grammar is at 92. Loading. Now select grammar. And this is what the detailed analysis it's giving. So it will line up everything. So it's showing you why almost all the work needs to be edited. And it will give you the submitted text. The text has these characters, has now this number of words, these sentences, and these lines. And then as they give you the detailed info, they are showing you every line which has a problem up to the last line. So I can also be able to download this report. Okay. So after that, I'll be able to view the similarity report. I'll be able to view the AI report. I'll be able to view the grammar report as a PDF file. So for the similarity report, it's telling you that the student's work has 17% similarity, but 4% of it, the work was picked from the institution repository library of Kenyatta University. So KU is Kenyatta University. Then other works were picked from Site Sussex, is a publisher. And then that's why we have the highest percentage of 7, rather 4 and 3. Then the rest, they are fair, okay? It's a 1%, but keeps on showing you where this user picked this information from. And this report is very important when a student is submitting the work, especially the final copy. Then we have the AI. It indicates that 43% of the work is human text, and then 57% is AI generated. And then for it, it will just give you a highlight of the paragraphs and sentences which are having that issue. Then the grammar, it will highlight, it will show you the text which needs to be edited, like this. It is showing you where we have issues with the grammar. Could be in the writing, it could be in the typing. So it will give you all those different options. So basically, that's how drill bit can be useful. I would encourage you as special lecturers to utilize it, but also to introduce it to your students. Thank you so much for listening, and this marks the end of our training session. God bless you. But if you have any question, please feel free to unmute and ask, or you can raise up your hand, or you can send a text in the next 5 minutes before we close. Thank you. All right, there is no any question. So I want to thank you so much, and I wish you a good day. So these recordings are going to be uploaded on our library YouTube channel. So you can always be able to go there, visit the channel, and access them at your leisure time. Thank you. God bless you. So for those who have missed the session, today's session for business, they are free to join in next week on Tuesday. We shall be handling the Faculty of Law. Of course, when it comes to e-resources, all the references will be for law, but still they can join so that they can gain the knowledge of how we can be able to navigate. So next week we shall be having Faculty of Law on Tuesday, and then Thursday we shall have Faculty of Education and Humanities. I wish you a good afternoon.